What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Freelance Friday podcast. It is time. We've got to talk about it. We've got to have another little chat about Instagram Reels because, yes, they are the content format that you really should be doing if you are looking to crush it on Instagram right now. Now, if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you know that I am not one to force anybody into anything. So, of course, if this feels like completely inauthentic to you, then don't do it. It's going to show through, and there are other ways to grow an audience in today's day and age. There really are. However, if you are open to it, if you are semi-interested in it, I have a really easy Instagram Reels strategy for you. And you could also use this for TikTok. I think the strategies are quite similar. The content types are a little bit different on these platforms, but getting content, creating short form vertical video content, it's all very similar. So stay tuned if you're open to creating some Reels. Actually, let me pull up my phone really quick because I took a screenshot of my Instagram analytics. My content reach, 82.7K on Instagram. This is on my personal Instagram, came from Instagram Reels. And it just swallows. I'll put a graphic up on YouTube if you're listening. Might not be as compelling, but it just swallows the other formats. Posts is 12.1K, stories 4,834, videos 916, live videos 318. And I actually went live this past week, so that's really telling. Actually, like I should have just done a reel instead of a live. Wow, yeah, Reels are where you're getting reach. Now, I do want to mention though, that those other formats, it's not that they are like extinct, that you should stop using them at all. I still use stories almost every day. I'm still doing live videos. I'm actually doing an interview series right now with some of my alumni from other courses. So there are definitely things that I'm using. I think my thought process is those formats are for my existing audience, right? Like I'm going to do live videos to nurture my existing audience and maybe compel them to enroll in a course. I'm going to use stories to just keep in touch with my audience, to ask them questions, to get feedback from them. But if I'm looking out for new audiences, I'm looking out for new clients, Reels is where I would be putting a lot of my time and effort into. Okay, so first, let's talk about content types, the easiest types of content that you can create for Instagram Reels or for TikTok, just short form vertical video content. So what I've been doing is very little original content. I'm going to be honest. Now, I understand that a repurposed video probably is not going to be the thing that goes viral and gets like 8 million views or whatever, but it is something that is really easy for me to do to just maintain a presence on these platforms. So repurposed content for me is repurposing my YouTube videos, specifically my podcasts. I've been cutting those into shorts, just pulling a 30-second clip or less every single week and posting one of those minimum on Reels and or TikTok and or YouTube Shorts. That's been my minimum viable strategy, basically. And if you have a YouTube channel, if you have a podcast, even if you have like webinars or a membership group where maybe you do live Q&As with your audience, your members, things like that, and you have anything that you can just pull snippets from, that is a great place to start. You probably have, I don't know, dozens of shorts just in a few of those different content pieces. And the great thing about that is if you have a repository of content, like I have a YouTube channel, maybe you do too, maybe you have a podcast, whatever, just start creating those so that they're on hand and you can start using them as drafts whenever you need some sort of filler content. So that's one really, really easy content type. I think the trick is to look for something that's compelling and that stands on its own. So for instance, if I am doing a 5 tips, I think the last podcast was like 5 things you need to do before your launch. Well, probably the clip that I pulled for that is one of those tips that is like a tip on its own. You have to understand the audience and the problem before you start developing the content or the format that you're going to deliver this in, right? You don't need to watch the entire podcast or the entire video to see that piece of advice, but hopefully it is compelling enough to say, oh, that was one really good tip. Now let me see what the other 4 are and maybe go over to my YouTube and watch, or maybe not. And you just got one piece of advice from that reel and you're moving on, but you might follow me on Instagram or at least know who I am and start to develop develop name recognition, etc. Now, the second super easy type of content that I've been using is B-roll. B-roll is basically just like video that plays that doesn't necessarily have somebody talking directly to the camera. So, I mean, I've been taking B-roll of the most random things. I've been taking B-roll of like driving on the highway or being in the passenger seat on the highway, just like pretty landscape views of, the road. What else have I been taking B-roll of? Just like me working. I've actually, again, went through my archives because I am a YouTuber. I do have a lot of B-roll videos that I'll sometimes use to help with storytelling and YouTube content. So I've been going through that content as well and just cropping it into a vertical format. So I just have them in a folder on my phone. So if I'm like, ooh, I have something I want to say, I just need like a video to play in the background, there we go. You can also use a stock video website like Canva to pull, stock video clips as well for you to use as B-roll. And what I do with that B-roll is, I just put some words on it, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see some examples playing throughout this, but really just like easy stuff. And also a lot of that stuff is repurposed from another platform, which is Twitter for me. Twitter is a more writing heavy platform. Maybe you have a blog, maybe you have a newsletter, an email newsletter, or something where you do a lot of writing. Go back to those word heavy content pieces, look at your top performers, and then just put that text over top of a B-roll video. And there you go. You have a reel, you have a TikTok, it's super, super easy. And I've been using that as filler really between podcast clips and then that. And then I might do one kind of face to camera video if I have time, if I have energy, if I feel inspired, all the things. But sometimes it's just that one or that two. Now, speaking of, let's talk about content schedule for your Instagram Reels strategy. Now, obviously, all of these platforms, Reels and TikTok, they want you to be active. Like, of course, they probably want us to be posting 20 million times a day. If you watch my TikTok for beginners video, I think they said up to 3 times a day is what they like to see. But my advice is always going to be do what is sustainable for you. And 3 times a day, even once a day, is not sustainable for me. Maybe, come December, maybe I'll do business again where you like vlog every day. Maybe I'll do that on TikTok again and try to post a TikTok every day or a reel every day. We'll see, right? Like I can do it in sprints, but I cannot commit to doing that all the time. So my advice for you is to choose a schedule. Come up with a schedule. Maybe it's once a week, maybe it's twice a week, maybe it's 3 times a week, and just stick to that and make sure that you are posting once a week. I'm a part of a video accountability group. We get together once a week and we actually edit these shorts together. So it's on my calendar. I feel held accountable because it's like, even though, I don't have to, I'm not being forced to obviously attend, I like to show up and I don't want to show up empty-handed, right? I don't want to sit there and twiddle my thumbs. So even if you just put 30 minutes on your calendar, whether you join a group like that or whether you just, do it with yourself, that is a really big help. And it makes sure that I at least have that one short out every single week. I would say if you were one of my clients and I had to like push a magic button here and tell you what you should shoot for, I would say 3 times a week feels good. And again, using these content types is totally doable. You could totally repurpose a piece of content, do some B-roll content, and then maybe I would ask you as my client, hey, can you just shoot one new original piece of content each week? I think that's doable. I think we can all find 15 minutes to, record a reel or a screen share or whatever. What about topics? Now, if you are repurposing content, you probably already have a content strategy over there. So my reel strategy, my TikTok strategy leans largely on my YouTube strategy, which I'm not going to get into in this episode. I have videos and podcasts all about that you can click to check out. I also have a course all about YouTube, so I'll leave that in the resources for you just in case you're interested. But it largely follows that strategy. Now, if you don't have existing long-form content that you're sort of repurposing from or leaning on, then my advice is just number one, go through your DMs or go through your emails. If you are maybe you're e-commerce, so you get a lot of customer support emails, start tracking those, start looking through those, put together a document and see what questions come up repeatedly. Same thing for your DMs. Are you seeing like everybody's asking you for Instagram story strategy or how to get clients or, whatever that topic might be for you? Boom, that's a video. Like that's a reel, that's a TikTok on its own. answer those questions and let those questions work for you. If you're going to go through the energy and effort of responding to people, which I think is, a good idea to do if you're on social media, respond to your audience, at least get a view out of it, So it's super easy to just record a quick reel or TikTok and then link over to it in your DMs and say, hey, answer this question right here on my reels or on my TikTok, check it out. So that's a great place to start. Another great place to start, maybe, people aren't asking you for things yet because you're super brand new. Totally cool. I love the resource Answer the Public. I recommend it all the time to people. It's just like this little search engine that allows you to type in a keyword. Let's say you want to type in music production or filmmaking or whatever it is that you do or you want to be known for, type it in. Make sure to change the region if that's important to you to the US, because I think it's a UK, it defaults to the UK. And then it's going to give you this list of a bunch of different questions that people are asking related to that topic. So, how much do filmmakers get paid might be one, or how to start filmmaking, like all of these different queries and these different prompts. Look through them. Some of them will totally not apply. Others will be like, perfect for you. Again, that on its own is a reel or a TikTok. Same thing with Quora and Reddit. Quora is a little more straightforward. Again, you can type in your keyword and see a bunch of questions that other people are asking the greater internet about. And one, you can answer them on Quora using text, but you can also turn that into a short form video piece. And lastly, Reddit. Now, Reddit is a little bit less direct and just like internet stalking, I guess I can say. Like when I am researching a topic, I'm looking on Reddit, I'm looking on Twitter, I'm using the search function on Twitter to search and see what people are talking about that topic, what questions they're asking. Same thing for Reddit. So it's not going to be quite as direct. You're not going to get like this fancy spreadsheet or CSV file or whatever, but you can just do a little bit of lurking and see, what the conversation is about whatever topic that you are looking for. And then lastly, when it comes to editing and putting these things together, the thing that has been the most helpful and that has helped me be really consistent with short form vertical video is Descript. And they are sponsoring today's podcast episode, but they really don't need to because I talk about them all the time. So I'm sure if you're not a new listener, if you've been around for a while, you've heard about them. But Descript is basically like an AI video and audio editor. I've been editing videos for over half my life the traditional way. And I love it. Don't get me wrong. There are still use cases for, if you want to have these super flashy, fancy, things or making a film or whatever. Of course, it makes sense to use a more robust editor. But for quick 15, 30-second clips or even longer, Descript is really amazing. And it takes a lot of the guesswork out of editing. So if you are not used to editing, you basically go through Descript, you go through the transcript and edit it just like you would a Word doc. So if I wanted to cut out me saying a particular word, I just delete the word from the transcript and it makes a jump cut. So it's already there for me. When it comes to Reels and TikToks in particular, the thing that I really love about it is that Descript enables me to add captions really, really easily. And I know that Instagram allows you to add captions as well, but they are not quite as precise as I would like them to be. And I also don't get to customize them quite as much as I do with Descript. So I can make animated text. So like certain words light up when I'm saying that word, or I can change the font, the sizes. Like you just have a lot more customization over it. And captions are super important for this type of content because if you're anything like me, I have my phone volume off all the time. So if a TikTok or a Reel doesn't have captions, I am missing half of what they're saying. And then of course, and more importantly, you want to make sure that you are creating accessible content for people who are unable to hear your content and need to read it instead. So I love Descript. I'm going to leave a link in the show notes for you if you want to check it out. But that is my editor of choice personally. And I edit everything in Descript first before I import my Reels because I just find the native Reel editor to be a little annoying. It's a little better than TikTok's, I will be honest, but it still is a little bit annoying. So honestly, that's the strategy. You come up with your content, see if there's a place that you can repurpose it from or a type of content that you can start shooting. You decide on your schedule, put something on the calendar or join an accountability group like I'm a part of. And then you come up with some topics, just start answering questions. And if you stay on that consistent schedule, in theory, what should start happening is conversation, right? People will start asking you questions, and then you can start replying to those reels or replying to those TikToks. And it just kind of has this snowball effect. So you'll be able to start creating more and more content. So just a quick one today. I hope this was helpful. I have had such a mind block over short form vertical video for a while, and I think I was just overcomplicating it. I think in order to just be on the platform, have a presence, and just get used to it, this is really all that you need. You can follow my Instagram reels and my TikToks at the Latasha James if you want to check them out, say hello. And of course, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, to the podcasting platforms. And I hope this was helpful. I hope y'all have a great weekend, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye.